Welcome to Thematic Nostalgia. This is our August 2023 show number 66, and I am your host. My name is Phil. And this will be a terrific podcast, especially if you like songs from the mid-60s through the mid-70s. And this month of August is especially important to me because this is my milestone birthday month. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I will say that when I was born, Harry Truman had not yet won his first election to be president. Yeah, he was president, but he never ran for president until this time. Okay, anyhow, that's not important. We're going to play 5 songs like we always do, and the theme of this show, I don't think is really that hard. It could be, but we're going to play really terrific songs. So let's get started. Is it possible that I have never played a song by the Mamas and the Papas? It's hard to believe. I really love Mama Cass. Well, this song has a nice origin to it, I think. It started really in 1963 when Michelle Phillips and John Phillips were newly married. They're living in New York City. And John, as he did, is trying to write lyrics at night for a song. And he came up with a song about homesickness. And this really meant something to Michelle Phillips because she's now living in New York City. It's a cold winter. She hates cold. She's a sunny California girl. And she took it to heart. And one of these days during this time, as she always does, she really liked to visit churches. And she visited St. Patrick's Cathedral. And she interjected the line, "We stopped into a church along the way." Well, John didn't particularly like that line, but he couldn't come up with anything better, so it stayed in the record. Now, you know what I'm talking about. This is California Dreamin'. It's a 1966 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame record, and it's a Grammy Hall of Fame record. It peaked at number 4 that year. Let's hear that one.
Along the way, well, I got down on my knees, and I pretend to pray. You know the preacher like the cold. He knows I'm gonna stay. California dreaming of such a winter's day.
This second song can be placed in the psychedelic pop genre. It was released in 1967 by Donovan, who was born in Glasgow, Scotland, but he grew up in Hatfield, England. He had 18 songs to make Billboard's Hot 100 during the years 1965 through 1973, and you may remember his number one hit, Sunshine Superman. Now, this particular song we're about to play is not that song. This comes from a Zen proverb. First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is. Now this song uses elements of nature, and it really has nothing to do with drugs. It's done with a calypso beat. This song peaked at number 11 in the United States, and also it peaked at number 8 on the United Kingdom's singles chart. Now just so you'll know, this podcast, the theme of it, has nothing to do with the year of the release. It has nothing to do with chart position. So let's hear There Is a Mountain.
Up on my garden gate's a snail, that's what it is. The lock upon my garden gate's a snail, that's what it is. First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is. First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is. Caterpillar sheds its skin to find a butterfly within. Caterpillar sheds his skin to find a butterfly within. First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is. First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain. Oh Juanita, oh Juanita, oh Juanita, I call your name. Oh, the snow will be a blinding sight to see as it lies on yonder hillside. Look upon my garden gates a snail, that's what it is. Look upon my garden gates a snail, that's what it is. Caterpillar sheds his skin to find a butterfly within. Caterpillar sheds his skin to find a butterfly within. Everybody, everybody! First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is. First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is. First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is. First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is.
This third song was written by Bob Dylan, but it was Manfred Mann who first released it. Now, Manfred Mann is a British group, and they are named after their keyboard player, who is Manfred Mann. Now, they also took the Bob Dylan song Just Like a Woman to number 10 in the United Kingdom, and they were best known in the United States for their 1964 number one hit, Do Wah Diddy Diddy. Now, it was rare for Bob Dylan to release his songs to someone else before he himself recorded it, but this was an exception. Mike Diabo explains that they were at a session where Bob Dylan was willing to release some of his songs to other bands, and they looked through about 10 of them, he explains. And Mike Diabo liked this song called Wheel on Fire. But he was talked out of it by Manfred Mann, who said, I like this other song better. So after a little back and forth, they decided to record this song called Quinn the Eskimo. Now, to be honest, they had to change some of the lyrics because they were hard to, one's a British group, One's an American singer, Bob Dylan, and Bob Dylan sometimes can be hard to understand in a demo. Anyway, they did change some of the lyrics. They had trouble understanding what the song was actually about. They know there was this big man coming, Quinn, and why was he an Eskimo? It didn't make much sense. But anyway, it seemed to do all right on the charts. It was a #1 hit in England for 2 weeks. It reached number 10 in the United States. The year was 1968. So let's hear that one next. It's a psychedelic pop record, just like another one we played. But the genres of these songs on this podcast have no bearing on the theme of the program. So don't worry about what the genre is, whether it be psychedelic or whether it be progressive rock or pop rock. It has nothing to do with the theme.
Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Everybody's building ships and boats. Some are building monuments, others are jotting down notes. Everybody's in despair, every girl and boy. But when Quinn the Eskimo gets here, everybody's gonna jump for joy. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. I like to go just like the rest. I like my sugar sweet. But jumping queues and making haste just ain't my cup of meat. Everyone's beneath the trees feeding pigeons on a limb. But when Quinn the Eskimo gets here, all the pigeons gonna run to him. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Let me do what I wanna do. I can't decide them all. Just tell me where to put them, and I'll tell you who to call. Nobody can get no sleep with someone on everyone's toes. But when Quinn the Eskimo gets here, everybody's gonna wanna doze. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within.
Our next song is Bungle in the Jungle, a song by British progressive rock group Jethro Tull, and was released on their 1974 album entitled War Child. Behind me, you see Jethro Tull's greatest hits. It's actually called The Best of Jethro Tull from 1975. It's hard to see because of the white background. Now, Bungle in the Jungle features lyrics based on analogies between animals and humans. The song was later released as a single, and it became a top 20 hit in the United States and a top 5 hit in Canada, and it spent 4 months in the Hot 100. However, this song never made it onto the UK singles chart. Despite the song's American success, Ian Anderson, who wrote the song in Jethro Tull, saw it as too commercial, and it was a minor song in this band's catalog outside of North America. But let's hear it.
walking through forests of palm tree apartments, scoff at the monkeys who live in their dark tents. Down by the water hole, drunk every Friday, eating their nuts, saving their raisins for Sunday. Lions and tigers who wait in the shadows, they're fast but they're lazy and sleep in green meadows. Well, let's bungle in the jungle. Well, that's alright by me, yes. Well, I'm a tiger when I want love, but I'm a snake if we disagree. Just say a word and the boys will be right there with claws at your back to send a chill through the night. Hey, is it so frightening to have me at your shoulder? Thunder and lightning couldn't be bolder. I'll write on your tombstone, I thank you for dinner. This game that we animals play is the winner. Well, let's bungle in the jungle. Well, that's alright by me, yes. I'm a tiger when I want love. I'm a snake if we disagree. The rivers are full of crocodile nasties, and he who made kittens put snakes in the grass. He's a lover of life, but a player of pawns. Yes, the king on his sunset lies waiting for dawn to light up his jungle as players resume. The monkeys seem willing to strike up the tune. Well, let's bungle in the jungle. Well, that's alright by me, yes. I'm a tiger when I want love. I'm a snake when we disagree, yes. Let's bungle in the jungle. Well, it's alright by me, yes. Well, I'm a tiger when I want love. I'm a snake when we disagree. Well, let's bungle in the jungle. Well, that's alright by me.
This next song is Spill the Wine by Eric Burdon and War. Eric Burdon was the lead singer of the Animals, and he had a #1 hit in 1964 with The House of the Rising Sun. But this would be his very first song with the band War. Now, before Burdon joined this band, they were called Night Shift, and they were playing backup for Deacon Jones, who was a professional football player trying to become a soul singer. But once Eric Burdon joined the group, they did release 2 albums as Eric Burdon and War. Now, some people believe this song was influenced by drugs or has something to do with drugs. But according to Harold Brown, the drummer in this band, he says it was about women. Harold Brown tells us that ladies were all beautiful and had to be worshipped in a way, no matter their age, their size, or anything else. So that's what Harold Brown tells us this song is about. And he also tells us that that lady you hear in this background speaking Spanish was actually Eric Burdon's girlfriend. She was in a tent with Eric Burdon, and he was making her talk, doing things. Anyhow, that's part of the secret of this record. This was a very successful record. It reached #3 on Billboard's Top 100. It was also a number 20 song for the entire year of 1970. It scored highly in Canada and in Australia. This will be the last song we play before the theme is revealed. Spill the Wine by Eric Burdon and War.
Out strolling one very hot summer's day, when I thought I'd lay myself down to rest in a big field of tall grass. I lay there in the sun and felt it caressing my face as I fell asleep and dreamed. I dreamed I was in a Hollywood movie, and that I was the star of the movie. This really blew my mind. The fact that me, an overfed, long-haired, leaping gnome, should be the star of a Hollywood movie. But there I was. I was taken to a place, the Hall of the Mountain King. I stood high upon a mountain top, naked to the world, in front of every kind of girl. There was long ones, tall ones, short ones, brown ones, black ones, round ones, big ones, crazy ones. Out of the middle came a lady. She whispered in my ear something crazy. She said, "Still wine, take that girl. Still wine, take that girl. Still wine, take that girl. Still wine, take that girl." I thought to myself, what could that mean? Am I going crazy? Or is this just a dream? Now wait a minute, I know I'm lying in a field of grass somewhere, so it's all in my head. And then I heard her say one more time, "Still wine, take that girl. Still wine, take that girl. Still wine, take that girl. Still wine, take that girl." I could feel hot flames of fire roaring at my back as she disappeared, but soon she returned. In her hand was a bottle of wine, in the other a glass. She poured some of the wine from the bottle into the glass and raised it to her lips. And just before she drank it, she said, "Take the wine, take that girl. Still wine, take that girl. Still wine, take that girl. Come on, come on. Still wine, take that girl, take that girl. Yeah, it's all yours. All you gotta do is spill that wine, spill that wine. Let me feel, let me
Bud Shank was an American saxophone player and flautist. He rose to prominence in the early 1950s, playing lead alto and flute in Stan Kenton's Innovations in Modern Music Orchestra, and throughout the decade worked in various small jazz combos. He is also well known for the alto flute solo in the song California Dreamin', recorded by the Mamas and the Papas in 1965. Harold McNair was a Jamaican-born saxophone player and flautist. His best-known sideman role came from his work with Donovan in the mid to the late 1960s. He was also a member of Donovan's touring band. Harold McNair arranged the hit There Is a Mountain and played the flute riff. Donovan's live album, Donovan in Concert, features his flute extensively and demonstrates some of his finest work. Tragically, he died in March 1971 at the age of 39 from lung cancer. Klaus Vormann is a German artist, musician, and record producer. He played bass and flutes for Manfred Mann from 1966 to 1969 and appeared on all their UK hits from Just Like a Woman in 1966 to their final single, Ragamuffin Man, in April of 1969, and this includes their 1968 international hit, The Mighty Quinn. At age 85, Klaus Vormann is still active in the world of music. This next musician is probably the one that gave this theme away. Ian Anderson is the face of Jethro Tull. You have to look very hard to find a picture of him without a flute in his hand. Ian Anderson is a Scottish musician, best known for his work as a singer, flautist, acoustic guitarist, and primary songwriter of the band Jethro Tull. He is a multi-instrumentalist. At age 76, he is still an active musician. And you just heard Charles Miller. He was an American musician best known as saxophone player and flautist for the multicultural California funk band War. Notably, Charles Miller provided the lead vocals as well as sax on the band's #1 R&B hit Low Rider in 1975. Charles Miller is the one you hear playing the flute on Spill the Wine. He comes in about 1.5 minutes into the song. On June 4th, 1980, 2 days after his 41st birthday, Charles Miller was stabbed to death in Los Angeles during a botched street robbery. To this day, no one has been arrested or prosecuted for his murder. Color My World is a song written by American musician James Pankow, one of the founding members of the band Chicago. It was recorded for their second album called Chicago 2 from 1970. Terry Kath sings the lead vocal and Walter Parazada performs that memorable flute solo. Chicago was on tour when James Pankow came up with the melody late at night on his keyboard. When he came up with a contrapuntal melody for flute, he couldn't wait. He woke up Walter Parazada, the saxophone and flute player of the band, and they worked out the song in Pankow's room. Walter Parazada is an American woodwind musician best known for being a founding member of Chicago. He plays a variety of woodwind instruments including saxophone, flute, and clarinet, and will occasionally play guitar. 2 years ago, Walter Parazada was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease but remains very positive about his future. One of the band's most popular songs, Color My World, never charted in its own right because it was never released as a single. It was used as the B-side of the 45 Make Me Smile in April 1970 and also as the B-side of Beginnings in June of 1971. It's an amazing composition.
time goes on, I realize just what you mean to me. And now that you're near, promise your love that I've waited to share, and dreams of our moments together color my world with hope of loving you.
We next have three in a row featuring blues rock from 1968, and then progressive rock followed by jazz rock from the 70s. They all feature the flute. The first one is Going Up to the Country by Canned Heat. The most notable part of this single is the flute riff played by session musician Jim Horn, and that will be followed by Hocus Pocus by Focus. Thijs van Leer is a Dutch singer and a keyboardist, best known as the founding member of the rock band Focus as his primary vocalist, keyboardist, and flautist. That is his flute you hear in this mostly instrumental hit from 1973. Lastly, we play Van Morrison's Moondance. Colin Tilton's flute, along with the walking bass of John Klingberg and the sax solo of John Schroer, drive the song instrumentally, complementing Van Morrison's vocal. There are fun facts in the graphics that you will miss if you're only listening to this and not watching the podcast.
Someplace where I've never been before. I'm going where the water tastes like wine. I'm going where the water tastes like wine. We can jump in the water, stay drunk all the time. To get away. All this fussing and fighting, man, you know I sure can't stay. Now baby, back you're leaving drunk, you know we've got to leave today. Just exactly where we're going I cannot say, but we might even leave the USA. 'Cause it's a brand new game I wanna play.
It's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance neath the cover of October skies. You know the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. You know I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. You know the night's magic seem to whisper and hush. You know the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, oh, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, oh, my love? Well, I wanna make love to you tonight. I can't wait till the morning has come. And I know now the time is just right, and straight into my arms you will run. And when you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then I will make you my own. And every time I touch you, you just tremble inside. Then I know how much you want me that you can't hide. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, oh, my love? A fantabulous night to make romance near the cover of October skies. All the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. You know the night's magic seems to whisper and hush. You know the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, oh, my love? Or can I just make some more romance with you, oh, my love? One more moon dance with you in the moonlight on a magic night. Moonlight on a magic night. Can I just have one more dance with you, my love?
Next, we have another rock and roll and Grammy Hall of Fame record from 1972. Nights in White Satin was one of the most immediately recognizable classics of 1967, with its evocative lyrics and its ethereal arrangement built around that flute solo and its epic harmonies. Nights in White Satin was originally released in 1967 and charted at number 19 in the UK, but only managed to bubble under at 103 in the United States. Part of the problem was its length. In 1972, the song was re-released in the United States and became a hit, going to number 2 and sending sales of the reissued album skyward. In the United Kingdom, the song made 2 more chart appearances, going to number 9 in 1972 and number 14 in 1979. It was Ray Thomas, a founding member and a composer of the English rock band, who played the flute. His flute solo on this next song is regarded as one of progressive rock's most defining moments.
Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I'd always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, I love you. Gazing at people, some hand in hand, just what I'm going through, they can understand. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend. Just what you want to be, and I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you.
It's time to put our flute back in its case. We closed this edition of Thematic Nostalgia with back-to-back hits. Randy Bachman, who was a member of Guess Who at this time, wrote this hit, but it's Burton Cummings' vocals and flute playing that make this record great. The flute part required the learning of a new instrument for Cummings. This captivating song hit number 22 in 1969 in the United States. It's unfortunate that Burton Cummings didn't play more flute on the band's records. Quentin Tarantino used this song in the 1997 movie Jackie Brown. And we closed with Firefall's You Are the Woman. The name of David Muse may not be a household name to fans of soft rock from the 70s, but his multi-instrumental talents in Colorado's band Firefall made their songs interesting. David Muse was a late addition to the band, and his flute work was prominent in their first big hit, You Are the Woman. David Muse has been in and out of the band over the years while battling cancer along the way. He lost that battle last year at age 73.
She's come undone. She didn't know what she was headed for. And when I found what she was headed for, it was too late. She's come undone. She found a mountain that was far too high. And when she found out she couldn't fly, it was too late. It's too late. She's gone too far. She's lost the sun. She's come undone. She wanted truth, but all she got was lies. Came the time to realize, and it was too late. She's come undone. She didn't know what she was headed for. And when I found what she was headed for, Mama, it was too late. It's too late. She's gone too far. She's lost the sun. She's come undone. No, 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 no. Too many mountains and not enough stairs to climb. Too many churches and not enough truth. Too many people and not enough eyes to see. Too many lives to lead and not enough time. It's too late. She's gone too far. She's lost the sun. She's come undone. Da, 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 It's too late. She's gone too far. She's lost the sun. She's come undone. She didn't know what she was headed for. And when I found what she was headed for, it was too late. She's come undone. She found a mountain that was far too high. And when she found out she couldn't fly, Mama, it was too late. It's too late. She's gone too far. She's lost the sun. She's come undone. You
I saw your face and that's the last I've seen of my heart. It's not so much the things you say to me, it's not the things you do, it's how I feel each time you're close to me that keeps me close to you. Whoa, you are the woman that I've always dreamed of. I knew it from the start. I saw your face and that's the last I've seen of my heart. It's not so much your pretty face I see, it's not the clothes you wear, it's more that special way you look at me that always keeps me there. Whoa, whoa, you are the woman that I've always dreamed of. I knew it from the start. I saw your face and that's the last I've seen of my heart. It's hard to tell you all the love I'm feeling, that's just not my style. You got a way to set my senses reeling every time you smile. Whoa, you are the woman that I've always dreamed of. I knew it from the start. I saw your face and that's the last I've seen of my heart. Of my heart. Ooh, of my heart.
In parting, let me tell you, and I swear that I'm sincere, I'd give the world